Hello everyone, my name is Relax and Panic, and this here will lead you to a reaction for RWBY Season 6. We tried to upload it completely on YouTube, but we are still waiting for it to be unblocked by Rooster Teeth. So until this is done, if it is ever done, you know what to do for those who have seen our reaction before. Just go down into my description links. There will be a link which leads you to the reaction itself. Just follow it, replace the circumflex dot parts with real dots, and you can see our reaction completely. Once you've done and finished watching our reaction, come back here and you can continue this video to see our discussion about Season 6. So, I will see you soon. Bye! For those that came back, welcome back and enjoy. And we're back. So, welcome back. Now, first things first, we wanted to discuss
a lot.
Yeah, I said a little bit about the old woman. So some people guess she might be a Schnee. That's a strange picture. I'm just searching for a good background for the discussion. Sorry. And wait. And other things that maybe she's the Winter Maiden in a interesting background picture. But that would mean that she would be a very, very old Winter Maiden.
I mean, the age is not mattering. I mean, it just switches when they die, and if she did,
I can live with that.
Especially with those claws coming up.
Yes, I can live with that one.
Yeah, she could be the Winter Maiden because I don't think the age is mattering.
Sure.
I mean, Raven is also not a young girl.
Oh, wait. There was one thing they said when they discussed in the vault, and they were walking towards the Fall Maiden, and they explained to Hera the whole maiden concept. They said that once a maiden dies, the power goes to a woman. And always to a young one. And Crow mentioned it's never an old hag or stuff, so he was complaining about that.
If you get it as a young woman, what if you age, and someday you die? And maybe she got it since, I don't know.
Exactly, that's what I meant. If she would be the Winter Maiden, it would mean that she has this power since a very long time. So very likely she should be experienced with it quite well. And she could be a really good help in fighting anyone.
It would also be interesting because it would mix things up, because right now we have Cinder, who is gone more or less and who has the same or very similar ideals like Salem. And you have Raven, who is on a completely different picture on separate side. And if now the Winter Maiden would be again probably on their side, maybe, or I don't think even that she would be completely on their side. That there is still some
we don't know, right?
Nuance which is different.
I mean, we have Oz, who is weakened, sure, but his power is knowledge, so that was always a thing. And they have a relic
he's a
now
wizard.
as well. Yeah, so he does not need
he's
power.
He's actually the wizard who created those maidens, so
he's a Wizard of Oz. Yes, exactly. I mean, it is him. We discussed that already.
Yeah. So,
but let's go through things. I've seen it in the intro already, and I commented it there, and I really, really like the new graphic style. So you can see it in this picture here as well.
A lot more refined.
This picture. I guessed there that they are using possibly two different programs now.
Yes, it looks a lot like two different programs because he looks separate from the background.
Yeah.
The background looks a lot more refined, while he has still the same style like in the previous seasons.
And I guessed that they're using let's say more higher quality graphics for everything that is background, the cities, the train station, and so on, so that it looks way better now. And they are using still the old program for the characters, so that we still have the old character images, and they just put it in. For me, that's fine.
I think that's how it's done usually.
Right?
I'm not 100% sure, but usually you always see, if you see, for example, those Disney animators, you usually have someone who creates the background and someone else who does the animation for the figures.
Yeah, but the animation is very similar, and now we have very.
Yeah,
I mean,
but this is because it is a computer program. Well, the Disney stuff is usually, well, nowadays it's a program, but back in the days it was all hand drawn. So you can adjust the style. Well, but this is two different programs, and I think that because the figures or the characters are a lot. Since when was the first season?
Season 3, I think they changed to this program. 3 or 4, I might be wrong, but I think it was 3 or 4 that they changed to the program they're using for the characters still. So, however, the question is if they are able to keep up the combination of those two without making mistakes. I remember that in the trailer, when it moved, it looked quite good, but when you stopped it, you could see it
like this
very much that it was cut in. This is okay here in this picture.
But you still see the difference. But
yes.
I personally don't mind it.
It's okay. I like it.
Though I would be curious how those characters would look in the program of the background. That would be interesting just to see. But I can see why they wouldn't do that.
It's very much of a difference, possibly.
Maybe.
Yeah,
and also it's because it's too much of a change, and I know people don't like change when it comes to.
Sure. Which brings us to characters. So we have the team back together. That's nice.
Surprisingly, no recap of the past. Well, more or less. You have this short segment where Crow was referencing, this is what the official report says, but there is more to that, and which is a cool way to if someone is just starting RWBY with this season, to give them a reason to start with previous season and without spoiling it. That's an interesting method.
Yeah, and the report was more or neither as we expected, not telling what really happened. So there was just a group from Faunus who formed the militia and they stopped the White Fang, so they made it look very good. I mean, that's the thing.
Looked very good.
For everyone, it looks like the Faunus made an uprising against the White Fang, who always claimed to be the Faunus in general. And the Faunus stopped the White Fang. That is what the official report says. That's a good thing, because we had over seasons this humans versus Faunus war rolling there. And by this official happening, it is a gesture towards humanity, saying, look, the Faunus stood up and stopped the evil ones. That's a good thing. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
So that's the one side. But they... surely, with reason, did not comment really on the fact that Team RWBY and everyone else.
And the artifact. Why did they not make that public?
We all know, okay?
And that there is what is Salem? A master.
The Queen.
Grimm.
The Queen of Grimms.
The Queen of Grimms is on us, and we are collecting the artifacts to stop her because she wants to have it, and we keep us all from the apocalypse or to doom the humanity.
That makes sense. Then we have Adam, who's already back at the Faunus headquarters, which was in
it was
the large continent, which was like Asia, where they were last time, the continent. And as far as I know, the headquarters of the Faunus was meant to be there. Strangely enough, and well, he. Kind of killed his own guards there,
which is interesting because they were aware so quickly that he ran away. Yeah, that he ran away and left the other group's members to die. How fast did they get aware of that? That's what I'm curious about, because the news they were not there. They were not there to see how things went down.
Well, but there are multiple things. One thing is you have communication again over all the kingdoms, as far as I know. Couldn't there be?
I'm not sure, but the fight was so quick, and okay, they captured some of the White Fang. Maybe they got released and got sent back. Possibly,
or you have like a White Fang member who had abilities to vision, to look from afar, stuff like that. You know, reconnaissance abilities. So why not? I guess something like that. They will have their ways.
I mean, the thing is, now he's back. He that's what I was like. Why are you killing them? Why are you sitting down on the throne? Because now you have no more followers. You are on your own. Why are you sitting on this throne to begin with?
Well, he was enraged. That was pretty clear. So that, I mean, they clearly said we will not follow you anymore.
Yeah.
So there was a riot against him, and we know from what we've seen about Adam, he was never the one who said let's talk about it.
Yeah,
you know?
but
he was always the one drawing the sword.
For me, he's currently drawn to be too powerful, because how many people did he killed there at once?
Those were just guards. Sorry, but even in season 1, RWBY was able and her mates to fight against multiple White Fang members. So those were no high-class fighters. They were just normal.
They were basically the guards of the main leader.
Yeah, well,
and you
I'm
would
not
expect that those guards are a little bit more competent.
I'm not sure those guards of the leader were the ones that were there when he killed Sienna Khan, and they look different. They were not there anymore. So I would say they're normal members of the White Fang who just have seen him coming in. Possibly the more powerful and more important ones already left due to what happened.
The question is the White Fang now basically scattered and disbanded?
Feels a bit like, right?
Because they're the leader. Adam is not accepted as the leader anymore, and they got attacked and maybe got no more new members from other faunas.
We know that there are multiple things. We know that the White Fang always had local leaders, like Adam was one, or like Ilya was one. So they're always local leader, not her, but the two guys there that we had in the fight last season. So they're possibly still like local groups. But with the message what happened, that the faunus from Menagerie stopped a White Fang attack, it's very likely that it's harder to get new members on the one side, and it's even likely that already existing members will think again of leaving the group. So they will have a hard time, and the fact that they lost Sienna Khan as a leader, now they kind of lost Adam, because you could guess that the knowledge of him running away is something that is spread throughout the White Fang now. So I think they are going undercover now. They will really not be a power factor for a while, unless you go to a kingdom where we haven't been before. So the question is, like, as example, in Atlas, there still might be a local leader.
I don't think that they are very strong, or maybe they're exceptionally strong there, because if I remember correctly, they exploited them in the mines, right?
Exactly. I mean, there's a pro and a con for Atlas. A pro for them being strong. There should be quite a lot of them, and they should be angry about the exploits from the families in the mines. So there is possibly a lot of them and angry. But on the other hand, you have Atlas with a very strong military, which is very likely to suppress any opposing force.
This is what I think now. What we will see in Atlas is that that we have somehow this monarchy going on with a
there was
rich family, the council and the rich families who are basically the nobles, and the other one is you have the slaves or the minor beings with the faunus. So I think in the whole season will be strongly having influences of this whole
kind
topic.
of a feudal system, right? Possibly we will see when we will be there. Right now we are still running a train, so they were not even close
the
to
thing
Atlas.
is, they disbanded now again the groups. So the group with Sean will be in Atlas, arriving safely.
Team Ranger.
Yeah, and RWBY's group will be in the wilderness, more or less.
Yes, I guess so.
And then traveling through the land again.
Which is interesting, because if I remember correctly, we had it the other way around the last time. I mean, we always had, which is not, Team Ranger was including RWBY at the time, but it was the group around Sean and Jean. I always want to say Jean around, and they went through the wild. I remember RWBY always losing the cards, the materials, the maps. You know, it was always like, and walking days, weeks, this thing. And now it's again her with her teammates, while those were scattered. So it is still her running, walking through the wilderness, walking through the continents. By doing so, showing us the continents.
Yeah, I mean, one in the city.
It's a clear.
To see,
it's exposition. Yeah. Clearly, you know, it is. This
world
is what
building.
The world looks like, and I like it. It's cool. And at the same time, we have the group around I would say the group which is not so good at diplomatic stuff, no offense, possibly the one in the cities. Seriously, who? I mean, Dawn can be, but it's a matter of self-confidence. If he gets it, then
he grew a lot. The thing is, not a matter of self-confidence again, it's more a matter of how angry he is.
Yeah.
If he is angry at something, he is pretty bad.
For his other two teammates, no. Ren is just too silent.
Yeah, but Ren has still also, in my opinion, he's calm enough for it.
That's true, no question. And if he says something, is always a good thing. But he's not the leader type. He possibly will not be one.
But do you need to be a leader type to be diplomatic?
Depends on what you're doing, what your work is. If you're meant to gather, as example, peace treaty, I would send him in because he's one that like evaporates peace. You know, everyone around him is calm. I mean, it's even his power, as we know. Nora, well.
She's the typical bodyguard.
She's bringing peace by smacking your head in.
She's the peace
for
bringer.
Sure. You know, if you cannot argue
she's
anymore.
She's the typical guy. So you see them bickering back and forth and talking and talking, and she's the one. Okay, enough talk. Bam.
Oh, slow down a bit. I just see how my microphone is exploding there at the recording. It really is.
But it was fitting. It was Nora.
Sure. And what I asked myself if. Who will be the fourth member? Because normally we have a 4-member group, and now it's the 3 of them. Crow is with Team RWBY, Oz is with Team RWBY, and the old woman as well, who would have been an option. I mean, surely would have been. So there is an empty spot now. Sun is gone. It felt a lot like it. Illyria is gone, who might have fit in, although it would be weird. But it could be an option, you know. So who would be the 4th member? I think there are options. There will be. I mean, maybe the maiden, the spring maiden will appear. We don't know. I'm very sorry. I'm really having problems right now.
Wait, we have the fall maiden.
The one from Raven.
Raven is the spring maiden.
Sorry, the girl.
The girl is dead.
Crap.
She's I
forgot something. So sad.
While he was grinning. Well, for me, there is an option, which I'm not sure about, is that the sister of Weiss.
Oh, yeah.
Is still there.
I'm in for that one, just for the meeting.
We still have the guy whose arm was healed. It's an option. It's not. You don't know yet.
Sorry. Well, he lost a comrade, so he's alone now, yeah.
Right. There could still the chance to be a new person completely.
Yeah.
Or one of the other team members from
that we've seen in the
Haven.
battles in the past. I mean, there were some interesting characters. I remember wasn't it the
Coffee?
No, Team Coffee. Well, that is. Yeah, but I think about in the tournament we had other team members as well from other academies, so possibly there might be options. There were some pretty cool characters in there, so that would be nice. Why not? What about the bunny girl? I would like that one. I mean, she is from Haven, but whatever.
I'm still like, why is she not a cat? It would be so perfect to call her copycat.
Copycat, yeah.
It's like, and then she's a bunny.
Why. Okay, so that about that.
I liked how they upped up the game for the fight sequences. You finally have really those combination attacks
without them saying them.
Yeah,
they already do it because they trained.
Yeah, and this was something lacking, and I think I criticized this in the past that we don't see a lot of this, and this is something I hope they keep up in the series because this is a very strong side, and which is the reason they are actually a team.
And we could see, especially when we had the discussion after the fight, Bro was discussing with the guy with the gun who got his arm smacked. Holy heck! And he was discussing with him in the background. You could hear it slightly while the focus was on RWBY, who was looking outside and checking for the passengers. I like that they brought this in because I remember the last time we criticized in the fight, especially the fact that there was only one fighting and everyone else was standing around and not doing anything. And that's something that didn't happen this time, so I like it. Looks good. The fight was good, and we had like a pack leader, which we haven't had in the past like that. I don't think so.
I think we did. Those were usually just the big ones.
Exactly, but they were more neither. Yeah, they were the big ones, but they were not leading the group. They were just in it. They were not like giving commands.
It was hard to tell. I had the feeling that one of those. Oh God, how were you called?
The bears?
No, the ravens.
Oh yes. No, not Nighthawk.
No, Nightclaw.
No.
I can't remember.
We really have to check again what all those creatures were named. It's not so easy. However, yes, you mean the big crows.
Yeah.
There was one like a leader?
I had the feeling, but
oh well.
It was never like it was displayed in this case.
Yes.
This was very, very clear that you have one who was giving the commands.
And it did like a nod towards two of its comrades to take out the towers.
Which is interesting because they now start to introduce more intelligent Grimms.
Yes. I mean, the question is maybe they are growing over time in intelligence even more. We know from the big ones from the Mama Keel elephant likes that we got the information. The older they get, the more clever they get, the more stronger they get. And maybe this effect is increasing now because Salem gets more power. And
it's still question how old Salem actually is.
That's interesting. Oh, which brings me to we had the intro/outro. So there was this statue of Oz, no question there. And a blonde woman, I wouldn't say girl.
Was it really Oz?
I'm pretty sure it was Oz. I mean, it was someone in like a robe,
but it wasn't it in snow?
male.
Couldn't it be also the grandfather of Weiss?
But why someone with blonde hair? I mean,
maybe
the
his
person
daughter.
even had the cane.
It would be his daughter, which would be Weiss' mother.
We could check it again. We could see it in the next episode's intro, for sure. But the person had a cane, and it was in Greenland, so it was not in snow and ice. So it's way more likely. Yeah, it was green around and sunshine and everything.
It was like take in as much as possible.
So I guess more that this was like a scene from the past, but that's just a speculation. So it could be like a first glimpse on the mother of Yang, maybe. Oh no, there was a black-haired one. The mother of Ruby. We don't know much about her in the outer
appearance. I wouldn't associate it with Ruby and Yang at all, especially if it's standing in front of Oz. Either it's another story of Oz that he has a partner, or it's one of the maidens.
Might be one of the maidens. Yeah, it cannot be Yang's mother because Yang's mother has black hair, as we know. It's Raven. But Ruby's mother was more like auburn hair, right? Brown hair, I think. We haven't seen much of her. There was just this picture of her so hunched over with a hood.
I don't think it's one of the mothers.
Yeah.
Well, it can't be Raven, so.
Yeah. Oh, we don't know. Maybe she dyed her hair in the past. It's possible. Not really. Yeah. Okay. So it should be someone else.
Blonde hair.
We will check for that. In the intro we have this. You know, the camera's always in the wrong direction. Really confusing me. This picture was Crow. So there clearly is something happening. They're showing options. We never know if it's true. We have seen the evil guys, more than everyone, I think. Hazel was in.
Except
Mercury
for Cinder.
Was in,
Cinder was completely not present.
Raven wasn't in either.
It's true.
So she's possibly out of this season as well. Which is a bit a question why.
For me, this is still one of the most interesting things, that Crow is grabbed by Grimm hands.
But I guess it's more a metaphor here. I wouldn't say it is a real grabbing, it's more like the darkness is grabbing for him.
So?
There was this other picture. And we had the picture of like a entrance to a cave or to a aqueduct, something like that, where Ruby was in front and there were like tentacles coming from it.
I mean, I try to recall the story how he and Raven got their abilities from Oz, right? There was a price to pay.
Oh crap! I nearly forgot about that one. Yeah.
He used their abilities or something. They were working for him, which was why I was so confused that Raven was so upset about it, because it didn't sound like something bad or something, you know. So there is maybe something more to it, like a sacrifice that they partially Grimm without knowing it. I mean, Raven even is wearing a Grimm mask.
Yes. Which still I would like to know what this is for. Because I remember the talk between her and Crow that he like grabbed for this mask. And she pulled it away from him. So either it's a symbol of the heritage, symbol of being the leader of this tribe, or maybe it has some kind of powers that he's aware of. We don't know. It
would be making sense if they are actually hard Grimm that she is so pissed about it. It would make sense that she is...
that's a nice picture.
That she is wearing this mask and maybe put it away from him because she is more in control about it than he is, maybe because he is drinking. And the more he is drinking, the more he is losing the control over the side.
Yeah. Well, but that's last season, so whatever.
Well, it could be in this season.
Today, we say goodbye to our beloved friend and brother in arms. One of the strongest heroes of them all.
What's his name?
That one. I have no clue. He does not need a name. He is a symbol for every pro hero out there who was fetched away by the Grimm. Especially those pro heroes who want to have more money to defend you and then don't do shit. Because he just was snatched away. Just like that, you know? There was a fast one. And I thought, like, because when he started storming in, I was like, okay, he's gone.
But the thing is, he was the intelligent one.
You think?
Yeah, you could see that when Crow was stepping in and he was saying, you left the door open, and the other one was saying, I didn't leave it open, and he was like, you didn't get it, let's leave.
Yeah, okay. But, well, storming in there against such a big troop, and, well, I mean, it was a clear and goodbye moment. Tough luck.
Tough luck.
However,
okay.
I think it's kind of interesting that they bring in the train because it reminded me of the RWBY trailers in Blake.
The train was several times now.
They bring in trains very often. They like trains.
I mean, it's probably the best transportation system there because you can. I mean, they are flying Grimms. Having an airship is probably even more dangerous.
Yeah, just one of them you don't see fast enough, and he rips open the balloon or whatever you're using for levitation. Yeah, I can see that. And a train you can armor quite good. Well, not good enough, I guess. Okay. Do we have anything else which I possibly forgot?
We have forgotten probably a lot.
Elia. Yeah, well, that was a nice one. Goodbye, Elia.
The thing is, I think in some season in the future, when you will see all of them together in a huge big fight against Salem somehow.
Possibly others will come in again, sure, no question. But that is some seasons
I'm kind of sad that we will have no fun with the monkey boy in this season.
He was entertaining, no question. We had a lot of not a lot. We had some fun times in as well. Ruby and Yang doing, you know,
it's
movements
interesting
behind Crow.
No, the thing is that he was there for Blake's character development, and they put him now out to have a character development focused on other characters, which is like, dang, why? He could still be a good character for character development.
Sure, and he could be one that would be a good addition to Team Ranger, which needs a new name now, by the way, because there's no R anymore, so it's kind of complicated now. Because now it's Team Ninja or Rang. If Ruby would be the last
wouldn't
one.
have J be the first letter?
That's the old discussion again. However, music was in again. I like that. So.
We're regarding the bag thing when Blake was helping to put the bag down from the shelf.
Yes, now I get what you're talking about. Yes.
And I don't think that it was because of her arm. It was because she was still feeling guilty for what happened.
Yeah, it makes sense. I thought at the first time it's about the arm. So, like, you're not strong enough, or maybe the arm doesn't work, but yes.
The arm is stronger than the original.
As we have seen.
So, I think really that they are not over this whole conflict. At least Blake is not. She still feels guilty. So I think this is still going on and will maybe now and then have an impact. I mean, she even sees Adam at the train.
That wasn't the intro.
No, it was in the episode when she was getting rid of when she parted the train.
Yes.
And she was looking up and she was seeing Adam there, and she was.
I did not realize that one.
That is when she was. She separated the wagons, and then she was putting out her weapon because she saw Adam for this very brief moment on the other side. And then she was like...
But that is... one moment. That is the moment from the trailer. It makes sense. In the trailer...
but it wasn't this episode.
Yes, but it was in the Blake trailer. It was a very strong moment where she separated herself in many ways from Adam. So she once again separated a train, a wagon, and then she had the memory of this moment. And it was... I mean, it's just some days ago.
But it was not like a memory in the sense of because she didn't draw her weapon in the memory in the first time. She was feeling threatened. She was thinking he was there.
I haven't seen it, so I will have to go with that. But I see why she would.
That?
Because I am looking at different things. And there's a lot I have to process while I'm watching this series.
Okay.
As I said, I like the music, however, as always. Good music. I clearly did not catch 90% plus of it. So we will later on have to check the music somewhere in the future. But it was good. I like the moment with Sun where he was like, "Hey, let's go," and the music starts playing, and then
it was quiet.
And the music just ends. It
did not end. It just got very quiet.
Yes.
It was like, okay, Sun's excitement was like, it was dimmed, but it was still there and on this.
So I'm looking forward. It will be interesting. Next episode we will see possibly mainly Team RWBY. And maybe learn a bit more about this old woman.
Yeah.
Who has a very young voice, by the way, I think.
Well, it sounded like a voice actress who, on purpose, has aged her voice, which could be because she's actually a lot younger than we think.
Yeah. You mean the character?
Yeah. Either that, or I mean, it's like, okay, had to age your voice.
Nicely done. So, I think that's it for this time, right? And otherwise, we will have a long discussion endlessly.
I think this moment when I thought I heard Cinder, I think the voice actress just jumped in for one of the other characters, which were killed when Adam was having her.
Possibly. Why should she be there?
Well, yeah, I mean,
and then wouldn't be there anymore. Very likely. Yeah, I think she would win. We don't know what she's capable of.
I'm not sure, actually. The thing is, he would just need one hit.
Sure. I'm not sure if you can kill her like that.
You will not find out right now.
and possibly not in this season at all. So that's it for this time. As always, feel free to comment, like, and subscribe. And, next episode hopefully is already on my Patreon. Because we will record it right now, right? So, see you there. My name is Relax and Panic.
And I am Most Evil Lifeform.
Goodbye and out.
Bye.